I know.
So, ready for chemical process?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Matters and Legal Affairs Committee is back in session. I know we're waiting for quorum. As I'm waiting for quorum, together we have 4 items to dispose of that are coming out of executive session. Agenda item number 9, resolution to request additional funds for services of course the Kai related to a owner-controlled insurance program. Agenda item number 10, request authorization for a partial settlement of the claim in the matter of City versus Rooftech. Agenda item number 11, request the settlement in the matter of Brook versus City. And agenda item number 12, authorization to settle 7 claims, each in excess of $5,000. Members, are there any discussion regarding agenda items 9, 10, 11, or 12? Seeing no discussion, members, are there any objections to approving agenda items 9, 10, 11, or 12? Councilmember Kobayashi.
No.
Okay, noting a objection from Councilmember Kobayashi on agenda item number 9. Any other objections? If not, these matters are so approved. Okay, members, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to temporarily recess the Executive Matters Committee, and then I'm going to start and convene the Kapiolani Park Trust Committee hearing for a discussion on payment of master's fees, and then immediately recess, come back in, and take action on agenda item number 8 of MLAW on resolution 10-88. With that said here, the Executive Matters Committee is here temporarily recessed, and the Kapiolani Park Trustees meeting is hereby convened. With that, members, I need to read this again. Okay. Persons wishing to present testimony, please submit your registration testimony to my clerk to my right. Written testimony may include the email address, phone number, and may be posted by the city clerk. It's a courtesy to turn off your cell phones. Okay, members, we're in discussion for Mr. Suki. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any objections to the approval of the August 12, 2009 minutes of the Kapiolani Park Trustees meeting? Seeing no objections, it's so ordered. Mr. Suki, very quickly. Yeah.
Good morning, well, afternoon, trustees. So, Chair, did you want me to describe?
Well, actually, members, you have received written communication from the Corporation Counsel's office regarding this request for settlement of claim from the Kapiolani Park Trustees. Are there any questions for Corporation Counsel? Councilmember Garcia.
Your question is
Yeah. Well, actually, why don't you, in a nutshell, well, actually, I'll do it. The problem we have in front of us, members, here is we have this lawsuit, we had this special master report. The court has ordered the trustees, and now we are convening as trustees to pay for this. The trust has no money. We have no cash. We're rich in assets. We have the park, but we have no cash. Yeah. So that trustee, So the question here is we can do a couple of things here. The trustees, we can refuse to do anything, potentially getting a lawsuit against us for non-payment, or we can shoot this over to the Honolulu City Council and request the City Council to pay for it. Did I get anything wrong there, Mr. Suki?
That is basically
Okay.
what the situation is.
So members, as our trustees here, we have 2 choices here. Either A, we pretty much just refuse to pay this and leave it up to the courts and further litigation, or as trustees, we reach general consensus and we ask the City Council to pay, and I'll reconvene MLAW and we'll just pass out this resolution. It's kind of 6 out of a dozen of us whether or not we want to pay this, ask the City Council to pay for it, or we go for further litigation on this particular matter. I'm open one way or another. But it is the chair's inclination. We don't need further litigation. This is something that's just going to enrich lawyers. And I say that as a lawyer. But why don't I throw it out in the open? Are there any trustees who want to fight? Is there any trustee here who would rather us go down the path of litigation instead of asking the Honolulu City Council to pay this bill? Throw that. Any trustees who want to fight? Councilmember. Trustee Okino, that's exactly what will happen, is that we as trustees will ask the City Council to pay for this. And then when I reconvene as MLAW, obviously then it'll be the council members who decide whether or not to actually pay the bill.
It's okay to do that.
Yes. So Why don't I throw out the first thing here? Do I hear it correctly, the trustees would like to ask the Honolulu City Council to pay this bill? Is there anybody here who would prefer we go down the path of litigation and fight? Okay, with that said here, as chairman of the Kapiolani Board for Trustees, is there anybody here who would like to testify on this particular matter regarding art, fence, and craft fairs at Kapiolani Park and the payment of the trustee fees? Trustee Kachola, brief.
How much is 31,000? It's the bill given to us by
The court.
the court
Yes,
or by
the
the lawyer?
But by the court ordered that the fee for the master's report be paid by the trust.
Right,
And
but
the
the
fee-
amount, who is it coming from the court or it's a bill submitted to us by the lawyer?
Right, so the lawyer who prepared the master's study, they submit their affidavit to the court, and then the court looks at it and approves it. So then the court specifically ordered $31,000 to be paid by the trustees.
So did you argue that it's too high or? Because what I'm saying, we can negotiate with the lawyer, try to see if we can cut it back,
Right.
cut down. Did you folks do that?
I think we should have sent from our office, when I transmitted the order, the affidavit of the attorney, and it included how he figured out his fees, and he did give us a discount, so.
Give us a discount.
Yes.
How much?
Oh, I don't have the affidavit in front of me, but he didn't charge us for all of the hours that he put in.
Next time, tell them for the controller discount.
Negotiate.
Okay, trustees, is there any further discussion? If not, the Kapiolani Board of Trustees is hereby adjourned. And I'm going to reconvene the Committee on Executive Matters and Legal Affairs, take up agenda item number 8, Resolution 10-88, approving payment of fees of the master as required by the order granting petition regarding art and defense and craft fairs at Kapiolani Park, filed February 25th, 2003, requesting payment of $31,000. Okay, members, now that we have our city council member hats on, Chair doesn't really like this because in theory, the council is different from the Board of Trustees. In theory, the council is about to pick up the tab for a separate entity, which is different from all of us. But I think in the interest of avoiding further legal fees and just further litigation and cost, the Chair is going to recommend approval. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to ask for testimony. Is there anybody here who would like to testify in Resolution 10-88? Seeing the testifiers, members, we're in discussion. Chair is going to very cautiously, and I'm going to put this in the committee report, that we're not happy with this, but recommend approval of payment of this $31,000 by the City Council for the Kapiolani Park Trust. Discussion.
Efficiency with the control of this company.
Councilor Anderson.
I'll go kind of lower.
Yeah.
Mr. Suki, maybe you should take
Yeah.
control with you to negotiate.
Members, is there any discussion? Because I do realize that this is a little bit unusual of a precedent for the council to do this, even though we are technically one and the same. Councilmember Dela Cruz, did you have a comment? No, okay. Are there any further discussion on this? Okay, seeing none, are there any objections to approval of resolution, I'm sorry, 10-88, noting a Kanalua from Councilmember Conchola, which we noted eventually as an aye. Are there any other comments, discussion? Okay, seeing that, resolution 10-88 is hereby approved. That concludes the Executive Matters and Legal Affairs Committee, and we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.